Hi, everyone. My name is Tandy Elisala, and I am passionate about helping women and a few smart men recognize their power within to be, do, and have anything that they want. I help break down the chaos and the things that aren't serving you and give you tips, strategies, and proven ways to help move forward in life with grace and ease. Today, I want to talk to you about getting through tough times because let's face it, life isn't always a bowl of cherries and chocolate. And sometimes it requires, some contemplation, and it's tough to get through things sometimes. And, myself included, we've all been through it. And, I've had, health challenges, including cancer, now for 4 times. I've been laid off, I've been divorced, I've released and gained and released weight. I've raised 3 children, amazing children, by the way, as a single parent. I've also served as a caregiver for both of my parents simultaneously and unexpectedly. And I left a 21-year career to take care of them full time. And, and then I saw them through their transition home. And there's just been, a lot of things that I personally have been through. And I know that you have likely been through many, some, if not more things. So I want to share with you kind of my 10 tips for getting through life situations. And so first thing is to ask yourself, is everything that you're saying and doing and believing bringing out your greatness? And if it's not, then I encourage you to shift your thinking, even just that little bit, that will help you to get there. Number 2, what will you be remembered for? And is this place right now where you're at what you want to be remembered for? Think about it. Is this place, if you're going through a tough time in life, is this place that you're stuck and feeling icky, is this what you want to be remembered for? Of course not. What do you want to be remembered for? And what are you doing today that will help get you there, even if it's minute by minute? Next question. Are you at peace with everyone in your life that matters? And if not, I encourage you to get there today. I want to share a little story about this with a story that I experienced with my parents. When I was growing up, my parents weren't particularly lovey-dovey or, expressive, or I guess what I would call emotionally available. They just weren't. They provided, and I knew that they loved me. I knew they did. Never questioned that. Yet they rarely said it. And I also knew they were proud of me. But again, they rarely said it. And fast forward, so with that, I didn't really express a lot of my feelings either with them. We had a great family though. I mean, we didn't have a lot of drama and all that stuff that some families have. But I wasn't really completely at peace yet. And so, there were some things that happened in my life that I wanted to get out. One thing in particular that I kind of cannot laugh at now is, I was a military brat and my dad was in the Air Force for 20 years. So we moved every couple of years when I was growing up. And we moved the second semester of my senior year in high school. The high school that I was actually able to attend most of, except for that second semester of my senior year. And he moved me from California to Arizona. I did not like that. I did not like that at all. And I had options of being able to stay, in California, to be able to graduate. But oh no, I had to move. So that was a really tough time for me. And I had a lot of pent up anger about that. So anyway, fast forward, I'm a caregiver for my dad. He suffered severe traumatic brain injury and physical injuries, and he was at Barrow Neurological Institute. There were multiple times that we thought we were going to lose him. I mean, it's just crazy. And I actually wrote a book about my experience called Healing Through the Chaos. Anyway, there was one day in particular that I was at work, and all I kept thinking about was him. And I had this yearning to go and talk to him. And at this point, he had been fluctuating in and out, of consciousness. And I'm a firm believer that the subconscious mind can hear what's going on, and that he could really hear, what we were saying and whether or not he responded. And I went and I just told him everything that I wanted to say, including that it was okay for him to go, and that I would understand, and that I would take care of Mom and everything would be okay, and that it's okay to let go of the pain and the suffering, but none of this in between crap. He's got to make up his mind. And I talked to him about my childhood and about, that dreaded second semester of my senior year in high school, and, things like that. And in the big scheme of things, that didn't matter. Yet I needed to get it off my chest, and I forgave him. And I felt so good after that, let me tell you. And from then on, I made it a point to ensure that I was very clear with both of my parents about how I felt about them, about how much I loved them, and what incredible parents they have been for me, what I've learned, etc. So I really encourage you to think about what it is that will bring you peace, and do what you need to do and say what you need to say to who you need to say it to, because I guarantee you will feel so much more at peace. Here's another question. Do you use your voice? Do you feel like you have a voice? If not, why? And again, let me share a personal story. So this body has cancer, and it's oral cancer. I've never smoked a day in my life. I don't drink. It's occasional wine, but that's really rare. I've never chewed tobacco. I've never been around smokers. From a medical standpoint, I don't have the risk factors for this type of cancer, yet here we are. So I had to really ask myself, okay, because it's the head and neck, so it's all about, the voice and expressing myself. And so I had to ask myself, where have I not expressed my voice? Where have I not shared my voice with the world? And what's stifling me? Well, the truth is, I am self-conscious about my weight, and subsequently, I don't like to take pictures and I don't like to do videos. So what am I doing right now? I'm doing a video. I'm doing a hangout, and I'm working through my anxiety and my challenges around that. I'm just being real transparent here and doing it. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay, because nothing ever is. It's okay to fly the plane as you build it. And that's what I'm doing here. And I'm also exercising my voice by putting together an amazing Success Summit with 43 amazing speakers from around the world. And I am so proud of that work and the incredible 44 hours of coaching and training and sharing that is occurring around the world because of that summit. And doing videos like this, there are other things that I'm doing to get my voice out there more and to exercise my voice. But this is one of those things. And so metaphorically, when you're going through a tough time, think about, do you use your voice, literally or figuratively? And do you feel like you have a voice? You know, sometimes it's a person or a situation in our personal lives might be hindering us, and we may not really even think about it. So just think about it. Number 5, do you use your internal guidance system? You know, your internal guidance system already knows what you want and need. We just need to listen for the answer. When asking yourself a question, the answer is within 30 seconds. I'm serious. Try it. What we do, though, is we listen for the 30 seconds, that initial and then we sabotage ourselves and we don't listen to it. And we go, oh my gosh, nope, that can't be right. What about this? About this? What about this? And we get into analysis paralysis, you know, and we overthink things. When what we really need to do is listen to that inner voice. So remember this next time. I would have saved myself years of pain, years of, you know, different experiences had I listened to my internal guidance system. It has never failed me, and it will never fail you. I promise, it will never fail you. Number 6, when dealing with upsetting matters and the not so healthy ways I cope or manage it includes, and fill in the blank. For me, it's food. For others, it's gambling or, you know, any number of things. So, you know, think about addiction, right? It's about coping. It's about a dysfunctional way of coping with emotions that you don't want to deal with. You know, it's, so do you have unhealthy ways that suppress your feelings or keep you feeling, keep you not feeling or feeling numb? And if you do, that's a sign that you need to work through those emotions. Bring them up, feel them, allow them, thank them for the experience, bring them up and out. Because the more you suppress it, the more it's going to come. You ever heard the term, what you resist persists? So true. Number 7, is the situation that I'm in, do I have control over it? Do you have control over it? If no, is it something you have influence over? I want to talk about influence for a minute because, you know, I'll use an example. A coaching client I had was taking care of his best friend as she was going through late stage cancer. And he hated that she wasn't following her doctor's orders about her boundaries and her nutrition and getting the help that she needed. And he loved his friend dearly, but he didn't agree with the decisions that she was making around her health. And it was impacting his life because he was helping to take care of her. So he got really clear about his boundaries and about what he would and wouldn't do for her. And through my encouragement and coaching, he shared with her, you know, what he loved about her and expressed his concern and his love and said what he would and wouldn't do. And he had to honor himself. He also honored her as well and shared with her his concerns. And she was able to turn things around, and she actually realized what she was doing and that what she was doing and not doing had an impact on him as her caregiver. And so in that case, he didn't have control over it, but he did have influence. And the influence is what you can say or think about the matter. So think about that in this situation. If you don't have control over something, you have some kind of influence, even if it's just the way that you react. Recognizing that, though, is key to greater peace and harmony. Number 8, is the situation worth getting upset over and taking up residence in your head? Don't let anyone else live in your head rent-free. Just don't. All right, number 9, is the situation worth your physical health, such as blood pressure, illness, or dis-ease? And what is the situation costing you emotionally? All right, here's the last question, okay? Take a deep breath. What are you gaining from the situation? I know this is a deep question, but I really want you to think about this. Now, when I ask clients this question, the immediate reaction I get is, well, I don't want this. I didn't ask for this. That's a silly question. And of course, I would agree. But there's a difference between wanting the problem as it is manifested and subconsciously sabotaging because of a deep unmet need. Until this is brought to the surface, the cycle is going to continue. So you're going to have the same experiences over and over until you figure it out. I've experienced this myself. So before the cancer, this body had a pulmonary embolism. So I had blood clots on both sides of my lungs. I had lots of blood clots on both sides of my lungs. I clearly remember the ER doctor looking at me and saying, "You're so lucky to be alive. You are such a lucky young lady." And I just started learning and became spiritually awake and recognizing that, yeah, I had listened to that internal guidance system. And had I not, I would most likely not be here. And in the process of that, of recovering, it took several months. I posted affirmations and declaration statements all over my house. And when I say all over, I mean all over. I mean, I posted them in the bathroom, on the mirrors, on the doors, on the cabinets, in the car, everywhere. I mean, people that came over were like, wow. And I didn't care because it's my life and my health. But my point with this is I learned, I asked myself this question: what am I gaining from the situation? Because I am gaining something. And what I realized is that I was gaining nurturing and attention and love from my parents who were living with me and the kids at the time. They had recently moved cross country to help me during a very tumultuous divorce and challenging time. And so they had, were living with us until they could get on their feet here in Arizona. And I realized that, yeah, wow, okay, I was getting attention from this situation. So what I did was, as I posted these affirmations and declarations around the house, I began teaching and training everyone in the home how to view me. Instead of viewing me as poor Tandy or sick or this or that or, oh, this, you need to rest, oh dear, you get the picture, right? Instead of the, oh, poor me, it was, no, stop, cancel, repeat after me. And I taught them, I trained them to see me as a divine, perfect, restored health being. And they would recite my affirmations, declarations, and eventually they got the memo, and eventually my subconscious got the memo. And, it was onward and upward to bigger and better things. So I learned a lot about myself during this time. And I encourage you to do the same. Your first gut reaction when I ask this question, if you're going through a tough time right now or you know someone close to you that is, you probably were thinking, oh, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard. Of course, don't want this. I'm not getting anything from it. But I guarantee you, if you look deep inside, you will see and you will feel and you will know that you are getting something. It may not be what I got. It may be something different. But think about that, because the answer to that question is the key to your freedom and to your well-being. I encourage you to think about these things. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. You can comment on this hangout or send me an email at tandy@tandyelisala.com and let me know your thoughts. And I appreciate knowing what you got out of this and what you'd like to learn more about. Was there a particular topic that I'm talking about that you'd like me to go more in depth on? So have an amazing day, and until next time, take care. Oh, and remember, tough times never last, but tough people do. You are a tough cookie, and I know that whatever hardship you are experiencing right now is temporary. It really is. Trust me on this. It is temporary. But you are permanent. All right. Take care, everyone.